Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, a warm welcome to you. For this tutorial, I will be making the granny square skirt that you saw in my thumbnail. For this, you're going to need to start with the squares. And for the squares, you're going to need two main types of wool. And when I say this, I mean there's an inner square and an outer square. For the inner square, you can use any kind of wool. For the square tutorial that I'm going to show you, I'm going to do now, I use this 100% acrylic wool. It was so much bigger than this. It was about this big, but even that's still small. So I used this multicolored wool for the tutorial, and this is a Brazilla Bash. This is the color from the charity brand, and this is just plain black. For your inner circle, preferably you want a single color. However, you can make your squares, so the squares are going to look something similar to this. You can make your squares multicolor on the inside. Okay, for this skirt, I used different kinds of wool, but mainly I did have a system in which I did it, considering the skirt is yellow. So I used colors that went with yellow, and I worked with that. So most of the squares will look something similar like this. You can always just, if you don't know how to change color in this way, you can find my video, and I'll put it somewhere at the top here, on how to change colors for this specifically. So your squares can look like this. I do apologize for that end there. Or, like this. Or you can use different colors. But as you can see here, you can use any color on the inside you wish. So this is the inner square. And for that outer square, you want one continuous color. And I chose black for mine. Okay. Other materials you would need is my favorite hook, the 4mm hook, and scissors. So these are the materials I used. So I'm going to start off with the inner square, and I'll progress into showing you how I joined these squares. For the skirt, 24 squares. Okay. By the time, so this is basically the square I'll be making. Of course, the colors are going to change as I use this, but this is a square. So I'm going to start with the inner circle, then I'm going to do the outer row in the one specific color, which is black. Okay. Let's get started. To start off your inner square, you're going to need to make a magic ring or magic circle, whichever you wish to call it. And for this, I'll be doing the chain method. So you're going to start off with a slip stitch. Okay, this is how I do my slip stitch. If you do not know how to make a slip stitch, please go visit my video, and I'll put the link of it at the top here. So slip stitch, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'll be working with half double crochets. So you want to go back into that very first chain you did Okay, slip stitch, and then you want to chain 2 and start your half double crochets. Oops, come on, there we go. You want to do a total of 8 half double crochets all the way around. So what I'm going to do is, because I get confused half the time, I'm just going to go at it. I'm just going to do as many as I possibly can, and I might, you know, think it's up to 12, and then I'm going to count at the top. This is how I know that I've done the right thing. I'm going to count at the top of those V's. You see the V's? That's what I'm going to count. Normally I end off at 11, and then by the time you do your slip stitch, the hook, the loop that's on the hook counts as that final one. So that's how I calculate mine. Okay, I think I've done enough. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to count from the most visible V, as you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to start from there, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like I said, I'm going to end off here at 11, and this loop here is what's going to end up as my 12th stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to slip stitch. Okay, I'm just going to take it there at that very first one, and I'm going to slip stitch. Okay, so once again, from this part that you just did, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's 11. Okay, sorry. And just make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So yeah, total of 12, like I said. Even I still get it wrong till date. Because when you're like, include the last stitch, not include the last stitch, all that confuses me. So I just do things according to the way I know how to. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus that last one, 12. Okay, this is row 1. For row 2, you're going to need to chain 2. Okay, in the same hole here, you're going to do 2 more half double crochets in there. So 1, 2, okay. So you're going to skip 1, 2, and in the third one, you're going to go in there. Oh wait, sorry. You need to chain 1, so it's, you do 2 into that first one, and then you're going to chain 1. Okay, you're going to go into that third one and do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets. This is called a corner. Okay, now you're just going to repeat the sequence all the way around. So chain 1, count 1, 2 into the third one, half double crochet, times 3, chain 2, half double crochet times 3. Into the same hole. Okay, same thing, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 half doubles into the same hole. Once again, this is called a corner. Oop. Here, camera's out of focus. Okay. Now, when you get to the end, you see the hole you started with? That's what you're going to go into. So you're going to go in there and complete this corner here. So we started off with the stitch, the chain 2 that we did counts as a stitch. So technically you're seeing 3 half doubles there. So we just need to complete the corner with 3 more half double crochets, a chain 2, and what I want you to do here is you're going to count from here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you need to have 3 above. Minus this one, so it'll be 1, 2, 3. You're going to go into this chain here and slip stitch. Oops. Come on. Hee. My everything's pretty tight right now. Okay, there we go. That should work better. Yes. There we go. And that should complete your second row. We're going to go up another 2 rows to give a total of 4 rows for the inner square. For row 3, it's basically like a repetition of row 2, just slightly different. But I would say this is more of the repeat you're going to do for row 4. So yeah, so back in the same. Okay, so now you've created this chain 2 space here. I would say this is where you're going to start repeating as wide as you want. So this square needs to be able to fit around your bust area. So make it as long as you can always add more rows as much as you want. Okay. So if you're going to add more rows, I do advise you add your rows within the inner circle. And then your last row would be that last color. Okay. If you want something similar to what I did. So there you're going to, so you've chained 2, I believe. Yes, we chained 2. Okay, we're going to go from now on into that chain 2 space from the previous round. Oops, I'm doing a double. It's supposed to be a half. You're going to go twice. Okay, half double crochet twice. That first chain does count as a stitch. Okay, you're going to chain 1 into this gap here. So the previous round chain 1. Gonna half double crochet. That very first one is quite tough to do, but it breezes through the other 2. So 3 half doubles into that space, and then you're going to do a corner. The corner is 3 half double crochets, chain 2, and 3 half double crochets. So you're going to have a total of 6 half double crochets in the same chain 2 space of the previous round. Okay, my color is starting to change now, so you can see going from the purple, bluey purple into the pink. Okay, and that's what you're going to repeat all the way around, and I'll see you when I get to around this point. Okay, when I get to the end, and I'll show you how to finish off the square. And I'm back, and what I've done so far is I did this row with you in the corner. So what I chained 3 half double crochets, corner, chain, 3 half double crochets, chain, corner, chain, 3 half double crochets, and now I am going to chain, because now we're at the end, into that same previous chain 2 space from the previous row. We're going to do 3 more half double crochets. Okay, now we're going to chain 2 because this is a corner, and once again 1 2 3. Okay, I'm going to count it again, 1 2 3. Into the space here is where you're going to do your slip stitch. Okay, and that is row 3. We'll be going into row 4 next, which for me will be my final row, because this person is about an A cup, so a total of 6 rows was enough for the bra cup. Okay, for row 4 you're going to basically kind of repeat what you did at row 3. You're going to chain 2. In the chain 2 space of the previous round, you're going to half double crochet times 2. So twice, you're going to half double crochet twice. Then you're going to chain 1, and in the previous chain 1 space, you're going to half double crochet times 3. Okay, this is the 4th and final round for the inner circle. Chain 1, Then you're going to half double crochet into that next chain 1 space from the previous round. Okay, now you're going to chain 1, and now we have a corner, so you're going to do a corner once again is 3 half double crochets, chain 2, and 3 half double crochets. Okay, so you're going to repeat this pattern. So in the next space, you're going to chain 1 now. Then you're going to, in the next gap here, you're going to 3 half double crochet, chain 1, 3 half double crochet, corner. Corner once again is 3 half double crochets, chain 2, and 3 half double crochets. You're going to repeat that all the way, and I'll meet you back here, around here. Okay, I've gone all the way around, and now I'm back where I started. I'm going to chain 1, and into that very first hole that we went into from the previous round, chain 2, I'm going to 3 half double crochet, chain 2. Okay, once again count 1 2 3. Okay, and into that, the space is where I'm going to go into. Okay, and I'm going to, oh, I just remembered something. This is where we change color. So you're going to insert your hook, and you're just going to release there. Okay, now we're going to change color, because now we've completed our total of 4 rows. Okay, so now we're going to join the black color to this. And to join the black color, let me just get my wool. Hold it the same way. You want quite a long tail, so I'm gonna leave about that much space in between, so you can easily weave in the end. So you want to hold tight at the back. Okay, just kind of like use your fingers to hold it down. Pull through and pull through to finish the slip stitch that you did from the previous round. You want to chain 1 2 3. This will be the 5th and final round. Okay, so I know black is like the worst thing to use to like do videos, but it is what it is. Okay, So instead of doing half doubles, I am going to be doing double crochets instead throughout this round. Okay, but still the same thing. So 2 double crochets, and that chain 3 you did counts as a stitch. Now you don't want to do a chain, you just want to go into that next hole, okay, and continue your double crochets. So 3 of them in this space. Oops. Into the next one, 3 double crochets. And into the next one, 3 double crochets. Okay, now we have a corner. We're going to do a corner. Same thing. 3 double crochets. Okay, for this corner, we're only going to do 1 chain. Chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, and that's the repeat. So you're not going to do a chain, you're just going to go right into the next one, 3 double crochets, okay, into the next one, 3 double crochets, into the next one, 3 double crochets, and corner. So corner for this is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets. So you're going to repeat that pattern all the way, and I'll meet you when I get back to the end here. Okay, I'm now at the end, so no chain, just go directly into the next hole. Oops, let me just make sure I did the double crochet there. If the previous color is like disturbing you, you can just get your scissor and go snip. Okay, remember to leave enough a long enough tail for it. Okay, so now that the tail is gone and not disturbing me anymore, I'm going to go back and continue my 3 double crochets. Okay, so this is a corner, so we're going to just chain 1. I know it's difficult to see, but I'll try. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to go into that space somewhere there. So just count like we counted the other ones. Okay, so we're going to go in there. Okay, slip stitch. And cut off. Remember, once again, long enough tail. Oops. Okay. That's that. Since I did that like little bit of a chain there, it enables me to like tie off my end properly. That's how I do it now. Okay. So I'm going to count how many stitches I have from corner to corner. Ooh, okay, nope. The sun is too bright, too bright. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. You should have about 16 stitches from corner. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, then you will start again from corner. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, and this little knobby keys counts as that one stitch. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. Okay, so you want about 16 stitches from corner to the end. Okay, and then from that corner, from the end, you're going to count again to the other end, and then from that corner, that's how you check it. If you wish to do from corner to corner, then you can do that. You will have 17 stitches in total. Okay, so please feel free to weave in your ends. I ain't doing that because it takes too long. I'm not doing that to myself. No. We're not doing that to ourselves today. So remember, it's a total of 4 rows with the one color, and then your final color for the end would be the 5th row, and it's just 1 row. Okay. Or the joining to make this skirt, you are going to need a total of 24 squares. Okay, so, and this is the order. I'm gonna show you the order now of the way you're going to arrange them. There we go. Okay, had to move the whole thing for you guys. Okay, all of these are loose squares, and this is the specific order you're going to arrange them. Okay, so you can arrange the squares in whichever ways you want, color wise, whichever way you want, color wise. Okay, this is my current arrangement that I have. I'm doing like a mix matchy kind of situation, so this is the order. So for this skirt fits from a size 32 to a size 36 in inches wise. So I'm using a total of, so there are 2 here. Okay, so there are 2 squares for the front and the back of it. And then, so this is 2, 4, 6, and 1 at the end for the side. Okay, so to join this, to make this skirt, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this side. I'm going to start off with this side first. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab these 2 and we're going to start off the join from here. As previously shown in my previous video, there's a specific join I do, which I call it's a single crochet join, and I'll show you what it looks like again for this tutorial as well. So we're going to use that single crochet join for this as well. So you're going to pick up this, okay, and you're going, oh wait, no, it's the other way around because we're going from right to left, right? I usually go from right to left, so it makes sense to start it from here. So I'm going to pick these 2 up and I'm going to do my join this way. Then I'm going to come back and then pick these 2 up and then join that to there. And then I'm going to go that way again and then join, and then that way again and then join. Why I'm doing this is because it's easier to have a consistent join going all the way around. So this is going to do a full circle for the skirt. And once I'm done with that, I am going to come to the bottom here. So once I'm done with this row, I'm going to come to the bottom and I'm going to join this. Go down, join, go down, join. Okay, so as we go, I will show you how it looks as we go on. And that's how we're going to do the join for the skirt. Okay, I'm going to be joining the midriff area now. I'm going to start from the right and I'm going to pick up these two here. And to join, you're going to make sure you have a nice long tail. It doesn't have to be too long, just enough to weave in your ends comfortably. Okay, and we're going to go in to that chain one space that we had there, and we're going to go into both. Okay, and the one you grab, make sure that when you grab it, it's back to back, so front here, front at the back. Then I'm going to put it same thing and through there, chain one space. Okay, I'm going to hold my tail end very close and I'm going to pull through all 4 loops. Okay, I'm going to tie this off so it's nice and stable, and then I'm going to go into the front loop. So in the V's, there's the front and that's the back. I'm going to go in through the front here and into the next one here. I'm going to go into the back. So it's a front, back kind of situation. Okay, and just yarn over and pull through. Now into the next one, I'll be doing a single crochet. So same thing, front and back of that one. Pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook. Okay, I do apologize for my camera quality. Yarn over and pull through. So that's a single crochet. So I'm going to be what I call this is what I call a single crochet join, but in the back, front and back loop. Okay, so we're just going to do this all the way down. So front, back, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, single crochet. Okay, when you do your join, you want to make sure that the order of the stuff you've done somewhat stays the same. It helps if you take a picture as well, just in case you lose your order. Okay, and I'm just going to continue down like that, and I'll meet you when I get to the end and I'm about to join these 2, so you can understand better how the joining works. Okay, and I'm back. So I have 2 more to go here. So the front of this one, and then this has a knot here. I'm just going to go in through that. So when you have a knot, just go in through the space underneath the knot, and then still go with your normal front or back loop. Okay, now I'm going to go into both of that last chain loops and in the same thing at the end here. Okay, I'm going to pull through. Now I'm going to kind of put this back down. Okay, then I'm going to grab at my next 2. I'm going to hold them together as they're supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to repeat the exact same thing I did. So in through both of their very first one, then in through both of the back. Just trying to feel with black wool, you just kind of feel your way around things, honestly. Okay. So you just want to go in through that back loop. Both. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. Oops, I did something. Nope, there we go. Wait, no, I did do something. Okay, so I went through the... Oh, I am going... Okay, so when you do this, please don't do what I just did. Okay, so you want to make sure this is also front to front. Okay, so back to back. And you want to hold here quite tight as well. Okay, so I'm going to repeat again, because I did it wrong. Okay, in there and in there. Oh, that was so much easier. So same thing. Okay, so you were still holding on to this one, and that loop was still on that previous join. Okay, so now you have these two loops. You're just going to single crochet, and like with the others, you're going to continue. So front and back loop of the other one. And as you go down, you can just kind of let this one dangle. It won't fall off, as you can see. It's already joined. Okay, so you just want to continue down the same way. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way down, and I'll meet you again when I'm about to join. Okay, so I am done with 3 down the line. Okay, we're going to go into the corner now. I just want to show you how it looks flat. So by the time you put it down, you see it's nice and one straight line. As you can see, it's still detached there. Okay, so this is the top we were just doing now. So I'm just gonna move this to the side and bring my whole midriff part back. Okay. So I have these don't have double anymore. I've now finished the top of those. Okay, so now I'm going into the side. For this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this out because it confuses me, so it might confuse you as well. So I'm going to flatten this out. Remember, this is the side, and they need to always face upwards. Okay, I'm gonna now take those two and I'm going to combine them to this. I forgot I wanted to do here with you, so I'm just doing the end of the join with you guys. Okay, same thing, single crochet. Okay, you're going to go, make sure the way you picked it up is the way it's meant to go. I'm just making sure with this specific square, the back looks like the front and the front looks like the back. There is no so I guess I'm just going to use the side that feels right to me. Okay, and I'm going to find my chain 1 space. There it is. Okay, so you're going to find your chain 1 space in the front and then your chain 1 space at the back. If you can't find it, just count your stitches. So I'm just going to count if I can't find it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go in there and I am going to continue the join. Okay, so these two here is now the corner. Okay, in through the front pull, front loop of the top V, Okay, and back loop of the one underneath. Okay, and you're just going to continue down as always. It's a pretty easy join, and it looks gorgeous at the back as well. That's why I like this join a lot. Once again, I do apologize. Black is quite hard to see. Okay, so I'm going to continue down, and I'll show you how I'm going to join this next to here. Okay, so now I'm at the end here. Now I'm just going to, okay, so the thing is, I currently have 4 joined together here. If you want, you're a meticulous person, you can decide to flip this over, because when you flip it, like, I mean, when I say flip it over, I mean do it this way. Okay, so I need to keep my yarn on my hand or I get confused. Okay, so what I mean by that is flip it over this way, but for me it doesn't really matter which way is which. Okay, I'm just going to grab at these 2, okay, the way they are, and I'm just going to continue my join. Okay, you can always rotate your squares whichever way you want. There's really no certain way of doing, keeping your squares. The only thing that stays constant is the join. So your join always needs to be back to back, so front facing you, and when you turn it over, it should also be the front. And for this join, it's specifically the single crochet join. Okay, I did something wrong because it's not coming through. Probably didn't go through the space completely. Okay, so I'm just gonna try that again. It does get quite tough trying to find, but as you go on, I wouldn't say doing this this whole thing is a beginner thing, but hey, I'm not going to restrict it. I'll say this is more intermediate. You need to like kind of know what you're doing if you're going to do this, but I'm not going to restrict you. You might just know how to do this. Okay, so I have joined again. So again, front of the one in the front and back loop of the one at the back. Yarn over, 2 loops, single crochet. So yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, single crochet. Okay, gonna do it again. So in through the front and back loop. Okay, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, single crochet, and you're going to go all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to do this until the whole thing is done, and then I'll come back to you when I'm about to join these corners again. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pick it up, join, pick this up, join, and I'll get back to you when I have that last 2 left. Okay, so now I just have those last 2 to go there. Okay, currently have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one down here, 7. So we're going to have a total of 8. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this up because it was folded, so I can remember how it was. Okay, I'm going to move this to my dominant hand and I'm going to grab at it to add that last one. Okay, I'm going to rotate this because I don't like the ends there. Please weave in your ends as you make your squares. So once you're done with your squares, weave in your ends. It makes this process so much easier. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna join this. Go away, end. Oh no, I don't want you. Go away, move to the other side. Okay, trying to get rid of ends here. I'm still gonna join them, but why struggle now? I can struggle later. Okay, same thing, in through those first chains, all 4 loops of them. I would say this is the most difficult part of this process, trying to get the yarn through the very first 2, very first 4. Okay, I think yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm now going to pull. You don't want too much of a gap in between here. I mean, it doesn't really matter because you're going to combine them again when you do this line down here. So going down, you're going to combine them again, but it just helps if it's tighter now. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, pull through both, single crochet. Same thing, in through the front loop and in through the back loop of the one at the back. Yarn over, pull through, single crochet. Same thing. And again, same thing, in through the back loop. So front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. And you're going to go all the way down again. And I'll show you how this looks when complete, like when I'm done till the end. Okay, this was my very last one that I just joined. Now I'm going to figure this out with you guys. What we're going to do is we're going to try get all of these facing forward. Okay. And we're kind of gonna do that. So it needs to now face backwards. Okay, so remember these were the very last 2. And this is the one, this one is what's going to bend. So these 2 are going to bend. So imagine that. Okay. Then this is going to bend as well. We have there. Make sure when you're doing this, the rib is straight. Okay, so make sure it's not twisted. You don't want your work twisted or it loses that neat feel. So just make sure it is a full straight line. Okay, this doesn't feel like a straight line to me. There we go. Okay, it didn't look like a straight line to me, so I twisted it around. If you're working with black like me, when you feel it as well, you can always feel if it's straight or not. Okay, this is also not straight now. Oh, okay, now it is. Okay, so you want to feel in between. If it feels twisted, then yeah, you know you did something wrong. Okay, and that's how it looks when put back together again. So as you can see, okay, I know some of my shapes, like I know for sure that this was probably on the side, that's okay. I really don't mind because this is a proper mix match. So just remember, anytime as you're doing your stuff, make sure your squares are facing the right way, whichever way you want. But for this video, I really do not mind how it's facing as long as the square is there. Okay, so when you're joining, please do be mindful of that. And make sure it's not twisted. Are you twisted? No, you're not. Okay. We're all good. We're all good. Okay, so for now, we're going to leave this side open. Just for now. Okay, so that's how you would put it back together again. Now this is held up together. I will now be adding the legs, or the leg portion. Okay, so for the skirt, as shown earlier, it has 3 layers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We have joined the first part. Now we're going to be joining the second part, and you're going to be joining it the exact same way you joined the top part. Okay, but this time the only difference is it's a lot in your hand, so it gets quite confusing, especially when you have like little pieces of squares dangling everywhere. But as long as you keep the same way of doing the join, you're all good. Okay, so I'm going to start from here again. So I'm going to go grab, join, grab, join, grab, join, grab. Once again, I'm going to flatten. Well, I can't flatten this out. Okay, but by the time it's in your hands, it will be flat anyway. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing, just now there's a lot more squares in your hand as you go. So I'm going to do this first one with you, and I'll get back to you again when I'm going onto this last one. Okay, for now. Oh, actually, so I'm going to do these 2 with you. Okay, because it gets quite tricky around this area, so you can know how to join that area as well. Okay. So I'm going to grab at these 2. Okay. Preferably when you do grab at them, you want to take your actual work away from the setup. But for this, it really doesn't matter right now. I can manage somewhat. Okay, so I'm just going to go in to the top once again. Same thing. It's the exact same way you join it over and over and over again. It's just in some areas it gets more trickier than normal. Okay, once again, you want your front facing forward, and when you flip it over, you also want the front facing you. Okay, so it's back to back. And please don't forget, if you have ends again, once again, please weave them in when you make your squeeze, because you can avoid excess wool in your face. Okay, so I've pulled through. I'm still holding down my thread, okay, in the back, my tail. And I have a knot here. So I start off with a knot. So I'm just gonna stick my hook in there. And then I'm gonna find the back loop of this one. And then I'm going to pull through to start my single crochets. Okay, without the knot, it's quite easy. So front loop, if I can grab at it, that would be great. Back loop, Okay, and continue all the way down. After the very first 2 or 3, it gets so much more easier. Okay, so I'm going to continue down, and I'll meet you when I'm ready to join this to the other one attached here. Okay. Okay, I am done doing this very first one here, and I'm just doing this to show you how messy this can get. So you always want to make sure, okay, so this part is joined and it's still firm. Okay, now that, see, we now have a total of 3 rows done. So I'm just going to put that down. Okay, flip this around until it's the right way. So you're going to need to constantly do this if you want to make sure that, you know, you're doing the right thing. And you always need to know what you ended off at. I can already see here that this is where I ended off. Okay, so I'm just trying to rotate here, getting where I ended off at. Okay, there we go. So you always want to do this. I know it gets quite tough and difficult to understand events at some point, but you're gonna get used to it, don't worry. And the more you join, the easier it gets. Okay, so you would want to rearrange again until you've gotten to this point. Okay, then I'm gonna continue, because here's my loop and my thread. Once again, weaving in your ends after the square helps. Okay, gonna hook it on. Then normally for the video's purpose, I have to lift it off to actually show you how it works. But when you work, you're going to be working quite closely to this. So you're preferably going to just basically end up doing this the whole time. So you won't really lift it off your surface. You will just do that. And you, like I said, you're going to work pretty closely. Sadly, I wear glasses, so I'm going to have to work pretty close to this if I was to work on it. But like I said, for this video's purpose, I'm going to lift it off. Okay. I do advise you work pretty closely with it. But for now, I'm just going to hold it pretty. I'm going to hold it close so I can show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, once again, back to back, the squares in through both loops of the squares single crochet. The squares chain that you did, and then into the other one, pull through. Yeah, that happens quite a lot too. This is not a work you can do in an hour. I won't lie. You really can't do this in an hour. Okay, so I've joined it. Now I'm going to front and back, front and back. Front and back loops, front and back loops. Front of the one facing you and back of the one facing outwards. Okay, it's basically the same thing. And as you go, by the time you join, as you go down, and by the time you join both, you end up with two things that kind of look like that. Okay, So eventually your whole thing is going to be joined like that. And so now I'm gonna just rearrange everything back again so I can show you how I'm going to end up at this rate, neatness is out of my willpower. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way around again like I did this top one. Okay, I'm going to work pretty closely to my work. Okay, and I'm going to go all the way down so I don't have to pick this up anymore. And I'm going to go all the way around until I get here. And then I'm going to show you the final way of joining this skirt. Okay, and that way would be going vertically. So we're going to go in a line, in a line, in a line, in a line, and that would complete the body of the skirt. Okay, why I call this the leg part is because this is the part that would normally cover up where the legs are. This part is the midriff, so it goes between the top part of your hip area and a bit of your waist. That's why I call it the midriff. Okay, so I'm going to, once again, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to join all the way, going across, working pretty close to my work so I don't have to lift this up anymore. And then I'll meet you back when I have joined it till this square. Okay, and I'm back, and I have completed the join for this bottom row here. Okay, so that's basically what we have. It's still pretty loose right now, but once you're done joining it, it shall not be loose anymore. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go vertically. So we're going to go down this seam here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one. Okay, and for showmanship, I'm going to do this one as well. And then I'll show you how the skirt should look like once you're done with all of them. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to, it's obviously going to be flat out. Okay. And you're going to just go down the same way. So basically, once I've done this one, you would know how to complete the panel. Okay, so I'm going to start from my bottom up. So this is the bottom as it was shown the other time. I'm now going to go from here all the way down that way. Okay, so I'm just going to grab at this because this is the end that was held, that hasn't been joined together. So it's also quite tricky on its own. But once again, it's still the exact same thing you'll be doing. So in through the chain one space of the first square, and in through the chain one space of the second square, both loops, both sides, so a total of 4 loops. Okay, pull your yarn through, thread the tail, tighten it up. Okay, now we're going to go into the front loop of the first one. and the back loop in the second one. The very first one you do will end up like this. You're not going to start your single crochet yet until you go into that second stitch of each. Okay, now you do your single crochet, and to do the single crochet is in through the first loop, into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, into a single crochet. Okay, so you're just going to continue this down. I'm going to go down this with you. Try to go as fast as possible, or I will speed this up. Okay, I'm now at the end here. Here is my chain space. Oh, you see I made a boo-boo there. Okay, I'm almost in my chain space. Wasn't quite it though. Here we go. Okay, and there is my chain space for that one. Okay, I had a knot, so I put in the knot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into that chain space. So I'm going to try, yes, there we go. Okay, and into the chain space, because now this is sharing that chain space. So it does get quite tough to go into, but as long as you go into it, you're all good. Okay. Now, with my ends sticking out everywhere, it's quite difficult to see. Plus the wool is black, so that does not help my situation either. So what you're going to do now is you're going to look for the chain space of the next one, okay, which is here for me. Okay, then you're going to look for the chain space in the back one, and there it is. Okay, go into the same thing, go into both, and you're going to pull. Okay, go down the same way. Here's a knot. I just go into the whole thing. Since it's a knot, can't do much about it. Okay, and you just continue all the way down. Again, skipped a stitch. All the way down. Okay, so when you get to the end, you pick up the chain 1 space here and the chain 1 space here. Ignore whatever's in between that. Okay, so you're going to do the exact same thing here as well, and going all the way down, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, and I am back, and I have completed the join in that vertical space that we ended everything at. Now I'm going to do a general join here, which will be repeated in every other vertical join that needs to be joined. Okay, so once again, just turning this sideways so I can pick it up. Please do not have as many ends to weave in like I do. It's just torture, honestly. So weave in your ends as you go. I know I've said this several times, but yeah. Okay, in through those first two. Long tail, tie it off. Front loop, back loop, yarn over, pull through, front loop, back loop, yarn over, pull through 2, single crochet, and repeat. Okay, getting towards the join here. Just going to do my second to the last loop. Okay. As you can see, we're pretty close to where the previous join was. Okay. Since we've picked those up, what we're going to do is pick up the next two that we can see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. You see where that chain is actually where I went into, and there is the other set. Yeah, that is the set. Okay, so it's like picking up the chain one space from here but skipping it here. That's technically what I did. So just what we're trying to do is minimize the gap in between here. So get as close to it as possible while still being able to match your squares together equally. So, but that's basically what I do. So I normally skip that last one, or sometimes I do go into it. It depends on how big my space is in between here. So yeah, that's how you would join it. Okay, I'm also going to go down here and I'll show you again. Okay, I can see I have two more here. And I can see that I probably skipped one as well. Okay, so what I did was I went into what was visible and what was visible at the back as well. So you just go into what's visible, trying to cover up the gap that would possibly be here. Once again, however, what is always constant is that I try to go into the chain one space that I created here. So there it is. So it's always right by the join that happened from previously, and also right by the join on the other side. It is quite difficult to get out, but you get used to it. Okay, so you're just going to continue all the way down once again. Okay, so right now we've completed two joins for this. Everything is still quite flimsy, but once you're done, trust me, you're done. Once you're done going vertically down, you'll be completely done with catering for this panel. Okay, so that's what the closed squares look like. So once your squares are closed, that's what they look like. As you can see, there are 2 full closed squares here, and that's what they look like. So you're just going to continue with this join, and look how beautifully it joins at the side here, at the corner there. Okay, so that's why I choose this. I've worked out this specific join method on which way to join first. So yeah, that's how I join my squares. So you're just going to continue all the way down. So going from down, up, or whichever way you choose. It could be up, down. But we've been going from right to left, so it makes sense to go from down, up. Because when you turn it to the side, you get the logic. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it should look once you're done. Okay, once you're done, you're going to get about that part. So once you're done with it, obviously it won't be bended like this because this is the complete skirt. Okay, so you're going to get about this part until that part of the skirt done, as you can see. Okay, so now what I'll be going into is the waistband. So that's what we'll be going into next. Okay, so for the waistband, yes, I do currently have a different set of outfit here. It's shorts, but it doesn't really matter, as the waistband will be the same for both shorts and pants. Okay, and the skirt as well. So all of the above. Waistband is the same. So I decided to use an actual complete work with the ends weaved in, hence why I'm using this. So to do the waistband, you're going to do what is called ribbing. And to start ribbing on a currently made work, so I'm going to start off with is I'm going to do a knot. So I'm just going to tie this off. Okay, and because of this is my outfit, I would need to do 2 rows of single crochet first before I can actually start the waistband. So to work your single crochet rows, you're going to need to chain 2. Okay, I'm just going to move that backwards. Okay, and into the next space, I'm just going to do a single crochet. And into the next space, I'm going to do a decrease. So to do a decrease, it's like you start off a single crochet, but you don't yarn over to complete it. Okay, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to go into the next space. You're going to yarn over. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Now you're going to pull through all 3. Okay, and this is what you're going to continue throughout the work. So it's going to be a normal single crochet into the next space. Okay, then it's going to be a single crochet decrease. So in through the first one, in through the second one, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through. Once again, into the next one, single crochet, full, just 1 single crochet into that next one. Okay, and okay, now we're at a join. When you get to a join, I'm still going to follow the same pattern, which is now I'm going to do a decrease. So I'm going to pull on this, okay, and then I'm going to find the chain space from the previous one, which is here. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to complete the decrease. So same thing, in through, single crochet. So 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. So this is the decrease, 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. And you're going to continue this all the way around. When you get to a corner, even if it's not even if it's like a single crochet at the corner, I do say do the decrease instead. And when you do the decrease, you want to go into that very last one that you see there and join it to the very first one on the other side of the join. Okay, so that's what you're going to do all the way around, and I'm going to complete this single crochet and I'll meet you at the end when I come back here. And I'm back. I'm currently at the end here. So currently at the end. I have done my very last one. Now I'm just going to go into the top of that chain one that I did before, and I'm going to slip stitch. Now what I'm going to do, same thing, chain 2 into the next space. I'm going to do 1 single crochet into the next space. If I can find my next space, okay, 1 single crochet, and into the second space I'm going to do the decrease. So it's 2 single crochets, 1 decrease. That's the pattern now. So 2 single crochets, 1, 2 single crochets and a decrease, which is yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and pull through all 3. Okay, 1, 2, and decrease in through the hole, 2 loops, in through the next one, pull through 3 loops, all 3. Okay, so that's what you're going to repeat this whole time. So single crochet, and decrease. Okay, so that's what we're going to repeat, and this will be the second row. Also at the bottom here I ended with a decrease, but it really doesn't matter. Okay, one more time, single crochet, decrease. Okay, as you can see here, this part is starting to bunch up, which is fine because it's making the waist part here smaller. So that's why we are doing decreases right now. Okay, and by the time we're done, the waist will be pretty small because this was pretty large before. So I'm going to continue and I'll meet you back when I get to the end here. Okay, so we are at the end here. I am just going to go into that very last one. Okay, then I'm going to go in the top. So the top stitch from the previous chain 2 that we did. Okay, now to start the actual ribbing, I'm going to chain a total of 9 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's just count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. E. Oh man, I lost it. Okay, I'm just gonna do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now I know for sure I counted 9. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the 8th chain that we did, and we're going to single crochet. Okay, and then we're just going to single crochet all the way down. Ignore the tie there, kind of ran out of wool. Just need to go all the way down. Okay, almost done, last one. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Now what we're going to do is right into this stitch here, right underneath where we started, we're going to pull through like we're doing a single crochet, but we're going to leave these 2 loops on, and we're going to insert back into the next one, and we're going to yarn over and pull through. Now we have 3 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. That's called a decrease. Okay, so it's going to be 1 decrease, and into the next one single crochet. Okay, so that's going to be basically what we're going to be repeating. So you want to now also turn your work. Skip 1, so you're going to skip 1, 2, and then you're going to go into the back loop only. You're going to start working back loop only from now on into, so you're going to back loop only into all 8 stitches. So we should have a total of 8 going up. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, how I know this is my very last one is this is the last visible V available. So that's how I know this is my last one. The one at the right to the top is kind of like a knot. You don't want to go into that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. Okay, turn our work again. Okay, and continue back loop only from the top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7. And the last one, 8. Okay, how I know it's my last one? It's the last visible V once again. Okay, once you hit your last visible V, then you know that's your last one. Here it's kind of like a knot. It creates a knot at the bottom there. Okay, so this is number 8. Now what we're going to do again is we're going to go into that same space that the previous one was worked into. We're going to go in there. Okay, so right at the bottom there, you're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, insert into the next stitch, yarn over again, 3 loops, and yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, then we're going to insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and do a single crochet. Okay, so basically that's the repeat that we're going to be doing now. So that's the repeat that we're going to be doing all the way around. It's the exact same thing all the way around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn our work, then we're going to skip this one and this one. Then we're going to go into the very first stitch here, but you know, it's going to be worked that way. Okay, so we're going to turn our work, going to skip 1, 2 and insert into that very last stitch and continue single crochets. So you're going to go all the way up, okay, onto the last visible V, chain 1 and then come back down. And when you come down, you insert into the same stitch that is underneath there, do a decrease and 1 single crochet and come back up. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to be doing all the way around, and I'll meet you when I get to the end here, somewhere around here. Okay, and I'll show you what the ribbed waistband looks like. Okay, and I'm back, and I've currently gone down, so I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to go into this one, yarn over, into the next, yarn over, do a decrease. Okay, then I'm going to go into the next one and just do the same way we've been doing it this whole time, a single crochet. Okay, going to, so what you want to do is end in your work going up, so you want to end going upwards. Okay, so we're going to finish once we're done here. Okay, so to continue, I'm going to skip 1, 2 into the next, doing back loop only single crochets. Okay, my last one, just going to count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now that we're done there, what we're going to do is we're going to put this together like this. Okay, I'm going to turn our work to the side. I'm just gonna, just want to make sure. There we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into the top loop. You want your wool to be on the top part. You don't want it in between. Okay, I'm just going to go at the top there. I'm just going to find a space at the top. That's not the top. There we go. Okay, right at the top, I'm just going to find a space. Okay, I'm going to yarn over and pull through, doing a slip stitch. So what we're going to do now is just slip stitch all the way down. So, and once again, I do apologize for the black wool, it's kind of hard to see. You're going to go into both loops, okay, and both loops of the next stitch. Hopefully you do not have a knot like I did. Okay, you're going to continue down in this pattern. So just try find a space to go into. So into both there, and normally it's just the adjacent. Whatever is adjacent, just go in there. Because I really can't find a place, so I just stick my needle into any space. But it still comes out fine, so Okay, you can see here, this is my last one. I'm just going to go into that space, Try find the other space on the other side. That's quite a huge chunk, but okay. So what you want to do is just go into the adjacent spaces and you're fine. Okay. And yeah, just going to cut off my yarn here. Pull on that. And there's your waistband. Okay. Currently, when you're done, the yarn will be in the front. What I like to do is I just like to kind of just insert my yarn, right? My hook, I mean, sorry, and just pull on it from the back, and then you can just weave it in from the back. Okay, and that's what the waistband would look like once completed. And I'll show you what the full thing looks like. Well, the full item looks like now. And here is what it should look like once you're done. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay well.